Hey traders, Park here with part 2 of the RSI and MACD strategy. You haven't already, please like and subscribe so you'll be alerted for when I do these videos and give away these strategies and go in depth how to use these strategies. I'm not a professional financial advisor, so anything I'm telling you is going to be for informational purposes or entertainment. Just giving you more so information about a strategy that I found after watching a couple of Mary McGonaghy videos. But for the most part, let's get into it. So I've made some changes to the strategy. I've changed the conditions for the strategy, especially for when you go long or when you go short with the strategy. Right now, I just have it for the long. So let me show the short entries as well. Excuse me. You can see here, just because you got a signal for when the RSI and the MACD are both above zero, it's not going to automatically buy. The closing price needs to be above this line right here, your entry line here. You get a long signal, and you can see you got out here because the close cross below this bottom part of the next signal that you got. And for your shorts, here's one right here. You can see you got a short signal. This is when the RSI and the MACD, this purple arrow right here, you got your signal here, but then you got price actually dropping below here. Excuse me, dropping below the low of this previous candle, and you can see you actually made some money on that one right there, or it would have been a profitable trade there. So one of the reasons to use the RSI stands for relative strength. It gives you the relative strength of the actual stock that you're looking at, and the MACD kind of gives you an idea of what the trend is, whether it's trending up or down, or according to whatever averages that you choose to use. So I created the boxes in there as well. So that's the strategy in a nutshell that I just gave out. And this is how this strategy works. So you can use this indicator here. I combined the RSI and the MACD together. It's a free indicator. So just look at the link in the description. You can get both these, the strategy indicator and this lower indicator of RSI and MACD combined. And you can look right here where you can go in here. You can manipulate everything. How many shares do you want to test the strategy on? So I want to test on 100 shares. So, or you want to test on 1,000 shares. So here's your long entry. If you just want to look at the strategy from the long part or the short part. So let me pull the report and let's see what we got for the S&P 500. So over the course of using this indicator of a 5-year daily strategy, you would have made $65,000 and $27. So your max profit and loss would have been $6,000, $6,082. So your total trades you would have made with 55 trades. So let's look at it on the long only side. So we'll say no to short entries. And let's look at things from the long only side of things. So let's scroll down. So if you're only taking this strategy long, you'll make $42,000, $42,905 on 29 trades. Your max profit and loss would have been $3,000 So, and you want to look at it from the short side, we say yes, we'll say no to that. And let's look at things from the short side, only taking the shorts only. So it looks like the short would have been real profitable, especially that one, whatever this one trade is, where the $6,000 would have been that max trade on short side. You made $22,000. So that's it. That's the strategy in a nutshell. Let's go look at a couple of different stocks and see how this strategy played out. We're going to look at it from both sides. So one of the stocks I wanted to look at is Tesla, just because the way everything's been going out on Tesla. So let's look at the strategy. Let's show the report. And let's go down. So using this strategy over 5 years on a daily time frame, you possibly made $114,178.60. Your max trade would have been a $13,000 trade with a $13,127.33, and that's over 54 trades. So, and let's go look at Microsoft. Well, before we look at Microsoft, let's go look at Netflix. Oops. Netflix using long and short strategy. So that's 16,000. Your max trade would have been 16,142, and that's only taking 100 shares of the stock. And your total profit and loss over the course of 5 years with 57 trades would have been $141,806. So that's on Netflix. Let's go to Microsoft. And let's look at the strategy. So $51,000, and that's 69 trades. That max trade would be 4,000. So let's go look at Nvidia. This is where the strategy actually shows you it's kind of dicey, because this is just a ranging trade right here. You can see Nvidia, once it hit above I just say $400, it just really just ranged, and it hit 500 a couple of times, but it came right back in. So this would have been really just a ranging trade right there. You probably want to use another indicator, some type of breakout indicator, kind of like my range box, to give you a better emphasis of whether to take a trade or not take a trade on this one. So we'll look at it like this. We'll go show report on Nvidia, and you can see your max trade would have been $38,000, taking 100 trades on one trade. And your total profit and loss would have been $118,639, and your total orders would have been 59 trades. So that's not bad for Nvidia. Let's see. This top line right here is overbought. This lower line is oversold. Just for anybody who's asking or thinking about it, that's what those lines represent. But that's generally it. Let's see this because I talked about this ranging right here, and you can almost see like one guy called it a floating island formation, just because it gapped up and it never really looked back. So we will look at it from the standpoint. Let's see, where is that thing at? Here's it, range indicator. So I put my range indicator on there, and we're looking at it from a daily point of view. You can see where it broke below and above those ranges a few times. You can see where it really didn't do anything here, but this close right here broke out of that range, which created another range, but it used this low back here. And you can see it pretty much stayed above the 50 line right here. This red area and this green area just represents 50% of the range. And you can see here's your breakout here. And you looked at this on a weekly standpoint, we come right back to this area of this range, and you can see it just stayed within that range the whole time. And you may want to wait for a weekly breakout for this indicator. So let's go back to the daily. So let me take my range indicator back off, and we'll leave it like that. What other stock that I want to look at? We're just gonna look at the QQQ. And again, let me re-emphasize the strategy here. The strategy here is to only take long trades if they're above where the long signal was given, or whether a signal was given from the indicator. And if it's above that, or take shorts if it's below where the signal was given here, and it actually took the low there, and you probably would have lost out on this trade. But it's the indicator is looking at it from close to close, and you can see here's your short, and you probably would have made money on this one right here if you gotten out before it came back in, gotten back above this line here. So let's run the report, show the report. Did I put this back? Nope. So let's close that report. Let's put this back in. And I'm just looking at over a 5-year period. So $65,000, 60 trades, 6,000 was your max trade on 100 shares. So overall, it's a good strategy. I believe it's a good strategy, but it works best in trending markets. That's what somebody pointed out. If I haven't already said that on the NVIDIA trade, that the strategy seems like it works best during trending markets. And you can see right here would have been back and forth, long short, but you still would have been able to make money. Just it would have been hard to swing or the swing trade during these time periods. So let's take it down to shorter time periods. And for shorter time periods, I'm going to change the criteria to exponential. I'm gonna leave everything else the same. So exponential. And we can look at the trade from this standpoint. Or using the strategy from this standpoint. And just over a 10-day period on NVIDIA, $28,000. Trading 100 shares. On trading 100 shares. Let's go back to QQQ. Or because some traders, let's look at TQQ instead of QQQ. But that's looking at it over TQQ. Let's go back to QQQ, and we'll just base it off of this. Looking at things on a 5-minute time frame. I have everything set for exponential. We'll show the report, and this is over 10 days. 7,000, but you took 150 trades, and your max trade would have been $1,100. But like I said before, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to what I had to say. If you want the indicators, just look in the link in the bottom of the description of the video, and you can get both indicators. And like I said before, test it out. Do a couple of different things. Leave some comments. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to what I had to say. Again, your comments do help out, especially with me. Don't be too critical of me, but critiquing and helping me find my way. And but I really appreciate you guys. Take the indicator, play with it, do whatever you want to do with it. But God bless and goodbye.